Why, hello. I didn't see you there. We had a good time in Maestros, didn't we? Getting our butts kicked to the curb. And we learned our lesson. So here we are, back to business as usual, with brokers. We are green, white, blue, baby, right where we want to be. This deck has one rare, a single rare, and actually, it's probably the shakiest part of the deck. Let me describe everything else, and then I'll tell you my rare. The highlights of the deck are 4 copies of Civil Servant, which is incredible, the full playset. Green and a white for a 2/3 cat citizen. Whenever it attacks, we can tap another untapped citizen to give it +1/+0 and lifelink until end of turn. Has been a huge all-star in the format, and getting 4 copies of it is amazing. The 2-drop spot is very contested in this format, and we really got set up here. In addition, we have 2 backup agents, which are a wonderful follow-up to the Civil Servant. Imagine the turn 2 play Civil Servant, turn 3 backup agent. It's a 1/1 that puts a 1/1 counter on a creature, put it on the Civil Servant, tap the agent because it's a citizen, and now you're attacking with a 4/4 lifelinker on turn 3. Pretty good. We also have a Rafine's Informant to round out the 2-drop spot. 1 and a white for a 2/1. When it enters the battlefield, it connives. Funnily enough, our 3-drop spot is the weakest. We don't have any of the real classics. We don't have Disciplined Duelist. We don't have Lagrella the Magpie. We don't have any of those good 3-drops, unfortunately. What we have instead is Rooftop Nuisance, 3 mana Casualty 1, freeze a creature, draw a card. Broken Wings, because I think this deck is a little weak to flyers. This is 3 mana, destroy a creature, or destroy an artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. And we have a quick draw dagger, which I do like. The 4-drop spot, Darling of the Masses, 4 mana 2/4. Other citizens get +1/+0, which is going to be dope with our backup agents and Civil Servants. And when this Darling of the Masses attacks, you get a citizen. Voice of the Vermin, a 2/2 that comes in with a shield counter. When it attacks, it makes something else base power and toughness, or it can make itself as well, a 4/4. Echo Inspector for a little flying action, as well as a Paragon of Modernity. 2 run out of towns for removal. 4 mana instant, the owner of target non-land permanent puts it on top or bottom of their library. And then lots and lots of tempo at the 5-drop spot, with 2 Spars Adjudicators and 2 Psychic Pickpockets. And then at the very top end, a Rocks Pummeler. That mystery rare I talked about is Depopulate. 2 white sorcery. Each player who controls a multicolored creature draws a card, then destroy all creatures. With 4 copies of Civil Servant, I think we're going to trigger the draw a card a fair amount of the time. And I just wanted to include a 4 mana Wrath because I think there are going to be times where we can mize a free win by slow rolling a hand with Depopulate in the opening hand and then wrathing their board. And 2, I do think this deck could get in a situation where our opponent goes over the top of us and drops so many big threats that a reset could be good. I'm not positive about this card. We are a creature-heavy deck, so a Wrath may not be the best thing. But it is a 4 mana Wrath, and that has been proven to be powerful in limited environments. So we're going to try it out at least. Let's get into game number 1. Okay, opponent is going first. This hand is so close to being good. We have Backup Agent, Civil Servant, the great combo, Run Out of Town, Broken Wings, and Spars Adjudicators. But for lands we don't have white. We have a forest and an island. That makes us a tough choice. I think the Adjudicators makes this keepable. On turn 2, if we don't have a white source yet, we can run out Spars Adjudicators. Not ideal, but I think this is better than going down to 6. That's tricky. I wouldn't be surprised if someone else looked at that and said, no, you're wrong. But we just ripped Botanical Plaza, green-white duel. So, yeah, we're good. Opponent went Plains and then a mountain, making a Citizen's Crowbar. This is the 2 mana equipment. Gives a creature +1/+1, and you can sacrifice it to destroy an artifact or an enchantment, and it makes and equips to a citizen when it comes into play. That's a lot. We're going to run out the Civil Servant, though. Nice citizen token. Check out this actual citizen. Opponent goes Cabaret Courtyard. Okay. presumably going to get a forest. Nope, just getting another mountain. Maybe going straight red-white. Who knows? Then they go Mayhem Patrol. Blitzing it out. So this is a 1-2. It's got Menace. Wait, so their attack... Okay, so we can just block the Mayhem Patrol damage. Oh no, it has Menace. I literally just said it. No blocks then. Now we take a total of 4 damage. They sacrifice the Mayhem Patrol. Okay, so this turn we can go for our Broker's Hideout we just drew. And what land do we want to draw? Doesn't really matter, we have all our mana to represent. Let's just get a forest. And then we can play our backup agent. Put a counter on our Civil Servant. Attack with the Civil Servant. Tap our Citizen. Hit them for 4 lifelink. It's now 21-17. Pretty decent turn right there. Opponent goes Chrome Cat. Not the best. 3 mana, 3-2. They want to ETBs, you scry 1. And they keep a card on top. And they're attacking with their 2-2. Excuse you? We could Broken Wings their Chrome Cat. Broken Wings is an instant. They have a white mana. Yeah, I think we just go to attack. With our Civil Servant. Yes, we will tap our backup agent, go to blocks. They're just taking it. So that's 23-13. What do we do now? We have an instant run out of town and an instant Broken Wings. I guess we just end the turn and hold up these instants. We really want to draw a land next turn. They're double attacking. This is madness. So it's 18-13 now. What do they have in hand? A Pugnacious Pugilist. Yeah, I mean it's a big play for sure. This is the 4/4. When it attacks, it makes a devil. So we are going to run that out of town. So now they choose to put it on top or bottom of their library. It goes on top, of course. Okay, not a land, but we did draw a Paragon of Modernity. That's not bad, all things considered. Go to attack again. Civil Servant, tap the backup agent. You know this song and dance very well. And then we Paragon of Modernity, which is pretty threatening for them. Man, really, really want to draw a land next turn. They recast the Pugnacious Pugilist. We got the land. Okay, so now we could pickpocket them, or we could adjudicate them. I really like wasting their time, so I think we're going to Psychic Pickpocket, which drew us another run out of town. So we'll discard our Broken Wings. So Psychic Pickpocket is a 4/3 now, and now we can bounce the Pugnacious Pugilist. And we can attack with our Servant and our Paragon of Modernity. 2 attackers, tap our backup agent. At this point, yep, they double block our Civil Servant, which is good. Now it is 26-7. And now we have 2 Adjudicators and a run out of town in hand. So they've cast the Pugilist again. We're just going to keep destroying it time after time. Adjudicators. They can't attack or block. They concede. Wow, that was slick. That was pretty darn smooth, if I do say so myself. What a tempo game. Awesome. Well, that was a joy and a treat and a treasure. A nice, refreshing game after that horrific Maestros we saw last time. Let's see if we can keep it going after the break.
Do you love watching movies? Do you hate watching movies? Boy oh boy, do I have the show for you. On Watching Movies, April and Kenny watch movies. Instant classics like Pride and Prejudice and The Mummy. Despicable gutter trash like Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Divisive, controversial picks like 2001, A Space Odyssey. Each month our hosts discuss and analyze a movie, then put out a watch-along commentary track, Enticing. Whether you like watching movies or hate watching movies, you'll love Watching Movies with April and Kenny. Now streaming on your favorite platform.
Game number 2, opponent goes first. And this could be the depopulate game we're looking for, because we have a pretty slow start. Backup agent, Echo Inspector, run out of town. But we have a depopulate in 3 lands. I think we're going to keep this speculatively and probably just not play anything and eventually depopulate them. That's what I hope to do. Opponent goes Mountain, which makes me pretty excited. So that suggests they're going to be aggressive and they want to put a bunch of creatures out there. Worst thing that could happen is they start throwing down some blitz creatures. We could have played a backup agent there, but we're not going to. Opponent is full Cabaretti, and they go Witty Roastmaster. So this is a 3-mana 3/2 alliance. Whenever another creature ETBs, it does a damage to each opponent. This is exciting to me because it suggests that they want to play a bunch of creatures. I mean, that's just an incredible read from me. The question now is, do we want to play a backup agent to slow their roll and make them play more creatures? I think yes. So we put a counter on our backup agent. Now, they probably are not going to attack us with the Roastmaster. If they do, that's fine too. But we're trying to lower their guard. And now they play a Darling of the Masses. Okay. Well, this depopulate is looking very juicy indeed. We're going to play a Broker's Hideout. Probably get another Forest in the turn. And I think we'll probably need to depopulate next turn. So they'll probably play another creature. They're going to get a citizen off of Darling the Masses. They played a Civil Servant, yeah. So we're going to depopulate on our turn. And they didn't even attack? Excuse you? Well, that was probably a mistake. Let's go ahead and do an attack with our backup agent, because it's free. I mean, they'd be nuts to block this with anything on their side. But, okay, they don't. Wow. I actually respected it, and now we depopulate. They do get a card because they have a multicolored creature, but that just wiped their board completely. Now they go Social Climber. 3/2. They play a creature, they gain life. That's, I respect that. I feel good that that's the best thing they could do after that play. Drew Broken Wings, that's not bad. We're going to play our Rocks Pummeler. 6/3 shield counter, has trample as long as it has a shield counter. So that's a good recovery after a depopulate. Opponent has lots of land, but that's about it. They're sacrificing their Racer's Rig to draw a card, so they don't like what they see in their hand. Hopefully they're a curve out style low to the ground deck, because we can get them. Do we just attack them this turn? Yeah, I think we just attack with our Rocks Pummeler. I can definitely see them trading a shield counter. If they don't, they just take it. So it's 19-13. Now we can Echo Inspector. 2/3 Flying Connives. I think we're going to pitch a Broken Wings again. And then we can cast our own Civil Servant, setting up the backup agent plan for next time. I like our position right now. They play another Witty Roastmaster, so they gain life. Okay, so I like where we're at now, because what we can do is we can backup agent, put a counter on the Civil Servant, attack with all, tap our backup agent to give the Civil Servant +1/+1, and go to blocks. They're just taking it. They're at 1. Alright, well, we're going to Paragon of Modernity, and they surrender. God damn. Pretty good. Pretty good. Depopulate, I do like it. I do like it. We drew it up, and it worked out perfectly. Alright. Game number 3 coming right up. Alright, we're going first, and we're kind of in a similar situation to game 1. Island Forest, no planes. Backup agent, Sparse Adjudicators. The high end really isn't here, though. If we get a planes, it's not that good for us. Sparse Adjudicators isn't getting us towards anything. I think this is a mulligan, unfortunately. This hand is more interesting. This hand is a plains and island, Darling of the Masses, Paragon of Modernity, a backup agent. I think we're probably going to pitch this Paragon of Modernity. We'll keep 6, get rid of the Paragon. This isn't super impressive either, but I like it better than the last hand for sure. Opponent goes Plains Broker's Initiate, the 0/4 citizen. You can pay 5 to make it a 5/5 until end of turn. Now, we're going to backup agent. Put the counter on the backup agent. So, no beatdowns for us. 2-2 into their 0-4. Is Broker's Initiate good? I wouldn't say it's good, but it's much more playable than I would have ever imagined. Okay, we're going to just pass the turn. If they attack us with their Scarab, we could quick draw Dagger it. They put Halo Scarab, by the way. And if they don't do anything, we can Spar's Adjudicators enchant a land. Just attacking us with the Scarab. Yeah, I think we just use our mana this time. One blocker, quick draw Dagger, eat their Halo Scarab. Sure, they can make a treasure with it now, but so what? Then they cast Gathering Throng. It's a 3-1 to search up any extra copies of Gathering Throng, and they do have 2 extra copies, so that's not bad for them. Our backup agent stacks up really poorly to the Gathering Throng, even with the Darling of the Masses that we're about to play. 4-3 into their 3-1. I mean, that's just butts. Next turn we could get pretty juicy, depending on what they do. And depending on what we draw. We're stuck on 4 lands right now. Having Adjudicators, which is a 5-drop, so it's not perfect, not exactly what I would ask for. Opponent goes Riveteer's Requisitioner. 3-1. When it dies, they get a treasure. And they didn't even blitz it. It's much better as a blitzer. It's a 3-mana 3-1 haster, dies no treasure, and draws you a card. Oh well. We drew a backup agent, which I think we need to play. Put a counter on something, huh? Could put it on the backup agent, probably. The equipped up backup agent. Or we put it on the 2-1 backup agent. And then start threatening them with stuff. I think we put it on our 4-3 backup agent, making it a 5-4. Then we can go to attack with it. And now they can 2-for-1 themselves to kill our backup agent. And that's exactly what they do. Not too surprising. I mean, it makes sense that they're willing to throw their Gathering Throng away. They have 2 more waiting in the wings. And then we're going to end our turn. So they got a treasure off their Requisitioner, and they're now exiling their Scarab for another treasure, so we could definitely be in for some trouble here on their turn. Presumably our opponent is Cabaretti, because they have this Broker's Initiate, which they can't even activate right now, except by treasure. Ooh, they're dropping a huge rare on us though. Mysterious Limousine. So what does this do? It's a 5-mana 4-4 vehicle. When it ETBs, it exiles one of our creatures until it leaves the battlefield, so it's an Oblivion Ring for 5. But it's a 4-4 vehicle with crew 2, and if a creature is put in exile this way, then it returns other creatures exiled this way. I mean, it's just a huge vehicle that eats one of our creatures, and it is, of course, eating our Darling of the Masses. And we're going to go ahead and exile our Spar's Adjudicators while we've got the priority. And that's very good. A Broken Wings would be good for us. We don't get it. And we also don't get a land. So this is a big problem. So what I imagine they're going to do this turn is play a Gathering Throng, and then crew their Mysterious Limousine and smash us for 4. It's probably a little scary just attacking into a 2-2 where we've got 3 mana up. Could have a Libation, could have a whatever the green 1-drop combat trick is. Might of the Citizens. It's not what it's called, but no, they're tapping 4. Is this a Torch Breath or something? It's a Gathering Throng with a white floating. Then sacrifice a treasure for a Riveteer's Initiate. A Trevor token. We drew a run out of town. Ugh. I think we just pass and we look to run out of town something they have. Like if they go to attack us with stuff, we can run out of town with their Mysterious Limousine, and then we get back our 2-4 blocker. That could be some juice. Now that's something. They're just not piloting this vehicle, huh? Well, we'll go to blockers, and we're just going to trade with their 2-2 Riveteer's Initiate. They go Pugnacious Pugilist. Well, we're going to go for our classic move from Game 1 and run out of town their Pugnacious Pugilist, which they put on top. A Broker's Hideout. Boy. It is a land. I'll give you that. It is a land, but we can't cast anything with it. Can I issue a mild complaint right now? So Spar's Adjudicators and that whole cycle. You pay 2, you exile it. It makes it so a land can tap for one of 3 different colors. Great, fine. With this style of land I have the Adam Paquette unlands. And that's okay. My point is it doesn't have any special thing to show you that it's a gold land. Our opponent played Devilish Valet, a 3-mana 1/3 trample haste alliance. When another creature comes to play, you double its power. And that's it. They did that post-combat as well. So what is that about? Let's go ahead and keep their Gathering Throng tapped, I guess. I don't know what's going on. Our opponent, of course, they drew their Pugnacious Pugilist last time, didn't choose to use 5 mana, played the Devilish Valet, and didn't do it pre-combat so that they could attack us with it. This is just going to be misplays, right? Misplays or misclicks? Now they're crewing the Limousine, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Because if they attack, we're just going to trade with our Spar's Adjudicators and get back our Darling of the Masses. Okay, so okay. I'm getting how it works now. So they're swapping them out. We get back our Darling of the Masses, and they're attacking with their Limousine. Okay. Well, you know what? No blocks for us. 11 to 20. Now what are they going to do? If they start crewing the Limousine more now, we just get Spar Adjudicator triggers? That can't be good. This turn, we got another land, which is good. We're going to pickpocket our opponent's Pugilist again. Connive. We got a Civil Servant. I do like Civil Servant, but I think it's that time has passed. That ship has sailed, so I'm going to get rid of that. Our Paragon of Modernity and Rock's Pillar are much more relevant. And we're going to target the Pugnacious Pugilist, of course. It's pretty funny. And then do we attack with our Darling of the Masses? It just gives us a citizen creature. Yeah, I guess so. Just generate a 2/1 citizen. They, of course, block with their O4 Initiate. Fine. So is our opponent... I mean, they have not played any lands besides Plains and Mountains. So are they just straight red-white? It would seem so. If they're not, they're extremely unlucky. But I think they are just straight red-white with maybe, splashing the Broker's Initiate trigger off of some treasures. I guess. I don't know. I mean, their Limousine is kind of dead now, realistically. So if they attack with it, we just block and kill it and get back our Adjudicators. And if they want to swap something out for it, we get our Adjudicators back, it taps something they have, and then we get to trade with the Limousine. Limousine was still good for them, don't get me wrong. So opponent replayed Pugilist and played a Gathering Throng, so their Devilish Valet is now a 4/3. And it made a Devil, so now it's an 8/3. Yikes. Well, we have to block the Valet. Are we just dead here? Yeah, we are. Yeah, I mean, Pugilist plus Valet was pretty good for them. We really just lost to the Limousine, though. Fair's fair. 2-1. Alright, well, for me, it's break time. For you, game number 4 is right around the corner. Okay, it's back to business with our back to business deck. This looks like a magnificent hand. It's a shame our opponent's going first, but we have Broker's Hideout, Island, Skybridge Towers. Then we have Backup Agent, Civil Servant, and a Spar's Adjudicators. This looks great. So I think we're going to keep this. We'll probably lead with the Skybridge Towers, because if we draw a forest, we can just start rattling. Oh, we did. Nice. Okay, opponent wins Skybridge Towers as well. We'll follow suit. Then swamp into Crooked Custodian. This is a 3/2 that enters tapped. Well, we're going to drop the Civil Servant. If they bash us, that's fine. they're going to witness protection our civil servant. So now it's a 1/1 legitimate business person. Do we block that damage with it? No. Then they go Ledger Shredder, 1/3 flyer. When a player casts their second spell each turn, it connives any player. Interesting. Okay. Well, we can Broker's Hideout. Probably grab another Plains at this point. And then play another Civil Servant. No attacks. They go Broker's Initiate, the 0/4, and they're attacking with their Crooked Custodian and their Ledger Shredder. No blocks again. Go down to 14. They did not have a second spell. Well, that's nice, isn't it? Let's see. We're going to Backup Agent, put a counter on our Civil Servant, and go for the attack. Attack with our Civil Servant, tap down our Backup Agent, go to blocks. They don't have any, so we get a 4-point swing. So now it is 18-16. We could play another Backup Agent, but that would let their Ledger Shredder connive. I think instead we're going to hold up our For the Family that we drew, and we can enchant a land with Spar's Adjudicators. Although we're pretty set for our mana. Okay, they're continuing the beatdown. Another 4 damage coming at us. That's fine. It's now 14-16. They go Girder Goons. Not blitzed. So it's just a 4/4 creature. Now let's go ahead and exile Spar's Adjudicators, put it on our forest. Drew a Paragon of Modernity. That's not bad. But this turn we're going to Spar's Adjudicators, tap down the goons, and attack with our Civil Servant again. Get another 4-point life swing. 8-point total, I guess. 4 points of lifelink damage. 18-12. Now they're just attacking with the Ledger Shredder. 17-12, and then they play a Wing Shield Agent. That's pretty good. This is a 2/3 with a shield counter. When it attacks another creature, gets plus, or doesn't get any plus, it just gets fine. That seems fine. I think we're going to go ahead and just go to attack. Attack with our Civil Servant and our 4/4 Adjudicators. Once again, beef up our Civil Servant. They'll presumably go to kill it with their goons. And we could just trade, or we could save it with our For the Family. They're also not blocking the Spar's Adjudicators, so we could just sneak in another 4 damage with it. I think we're just going to For the Family our Civil Servant, making an 8/8 lifelink. So we go to 25, and they go down to 8. I mean, looks relatively bad for the opponent. Now we can cast another spell this turn, but do we want to? Is it worth doing? Because it lets them connive with their Ledger Shredder. I think that's okay. Yeah, we're gonna go for it. I just want to get more stuff out there to hopefully push through damage to the end of the game. They ditched a Mage's Attendant. Okay, so their Ledger Shredder grows. It's a 2/4 now. Okay, so they did nothing that turn. We drew a Run Out of Town, which is pretty good. So they'll probably go for some double blocks here, and we can Run Out of Town and really ruin their day. They also didn't play any spells, and they have 5 mana available, which is disconcerting. Yeah, let's go to attacks and make them worry about things. And let us attack with our Civil Servant, our Spar's Adjudicators. And do we attack with the Paragon of Modernity as well? No, I don't think so. I think just the 2 is okay. Go ahead and tap our Agent. Let's go to blocks. Their Broker's Initiate can get pumped up to be a 5/5. So that's what they were sitting back on. Let's see. So we're going to lose our Spar's Adjudicators for free, but we can save our civil servant by bouncing the wing shield agent, which is what we're going to do. They put it back on top. They lose their rogue, we lose our adjudicators, we're at 29. Yeah, now they're in kind of an awkward spot. So they play their wing shield agent, but now they can't activate their broker's initiate. Now they're attacking with their crooked custodian. That's going to be a big fat no blocks from us. Interesting. A rooftop nuisance. Now that's juicy. They're at 8 right now. Can tap 2 creatures and they don't untap. And draw 2 cards. Yeah, that just sounds great. Nuisance it is, we'll casualty sacrificing our business person. And also hit their wing shield agent. Drew a couple lands, including one that can get us a card later. And now let's go to combat. Hit with the Paragon, hit with the Civil Servant, juice the Civil Servant. I mean, the Servant's been worth its weight in absolute gold. And now we end the turn. Yeah. I don't really want to double spell and make their Ledger Shredder even bigger. And they concede. Okay, beautiful. Civil Servant. That is. Alright, we're 3-1 so far. Alright, we go first this time. But this hand is really bad. A plains and an island, and nothing to cast until realistically turn 4 when we have an Echo Inspector. Because our 2/3 drops are Broken Wings and Quick Draw, which are very situational. And then 2 Psychic Pickpockets on turn 5. Assuming we rattle off lands. Yeah, pretty easy mulligan. Ooh, this hand is infinitely better. Botanical Plaza of Plains into Civil Servant, Rafine's Informant, Paragon of Modernity run out of town, and a Broken Wings that we can get rid of. So we will keep this, ditch the Broken Wings, go Plaza, and pass. What do we start with here? Do we start with Civil Servant still? Go Broker's Hideout. Broker's is broken, as they say. You would know. Okay, drew another land. That's not terrible. Let's go ahead and play our plains and drop a Civil Servant. If we draw like a backup agent next turn, we'll be glad we led with the Servant. They did nothing. We drew another Civil Servant. Even better, potentially. Yeah, I think we just go for it. They do not have Make Disappear. Wonderful. One attacker. Yes, tap our other Servant. It's 23-18. Our opponent is on 3 all their colors now, and they play a Psionic Snoop, 0/3 flash on ETB's Connives. So now it's a 1/4. That's definitely annoying. Do we just run it out of town? I think so. I think we do it for the tempo. No, wait. We can't do that. Ignore me. We can't do that because we don't have an island yet. So instead we'll go to combat, attack with 1. This won't get damage through because they have a 1/4 to block it, but it does gain us 3 life for free. And now we can go Paragon of Modernity, which is the 2/2 flyer. We can pay 3 to give it +1/+1. If we spend 3 different colors for that cost, it gets a counter instead. I don't think I've seen anyone activate this yet. Last game, it was like a potential, just never happened. They go Metropolis Angel. A 3/1 flyer. Whenever you attack with 1 or more creatures with counters on them, draw a card. Sure. We drew a backup agent, and we have a Rafine's Informant. So let's lead with the Rafine's Informant to give us some more options, potentially. We drew a Quick Draw Dagger. The dagger is sweet, but the backup agent lets us get in for an attack right now. Yeah, I guess I want to throw away the dagger. That's kind of a tough decision. Now we can go for the backup agent. Put a counter on Civil Servant. Attack with the Civil Servant. Tap our backup agent. And now we're attacking them with a 4/4 lifelinker, which they just take to the dome. 30 to 14. So right now, our bad draws are lands that don't help us. Okay, they bought our silence, though. So they exiled our juiced up Civil Servant and we got a treasure. But that was their whole turn. We drew Rooftop Nuisance, which I think we're going to go for, because they gave us the treasure for it. So yeah, Rooftop Nuisance, Casualty 1, tap the Metropolis Angel, sacrifice our backup agent, and then tap their Psionic Snoop. We got a land, fortunately not a blue land, and we drew a Psychic Pickpocket. Boy, we really want a blue source. If we get a blue source, this game's pretty much done so. There's still lots of things they could do. They're at Spar's Adjudicator mana right now, so they didn't have it. And they conceded. Tempo. Love that tempo. Very good. Boy, that was pretty wild having never drawn our blue source. We'll take it. 4 wins, 1 loss. We go first. A land of each color, a backup agent, depopulate for the family Rocks Pummeler. This looks like a good depopulate in my hand, hopefully, so we'll keep it. And we'll lead with the Plains. They also go Plains into Broker's Initiate. We would love for them to just rattle off a bunch of creatures that we then wipe off the face of the earth. Let's go... not island, let's play a forest. Don't want to disincentivize them from playing out their hand, leaving up that juicy blue mana which might suggest a make disappear. They go Cabaret Courtyard into Mountain. And it looks like that's the end of their turn. Okay. We drew a Broker's Hideout. Perfect. This gets us the plains we need to depopulate, and also makes it seem like we're kind of tripping on our lands. So our opponent will be none the wiser. They go High Rise Sawjack, 3 mana, 2/3 reach. Good. A nice, not really that threatening creature. Okay, so it's our turn. Now we might be getting like a little, it looks maybe a little suspicious that we're still not doing anything. But, yeah, so be it. If they want to play around our rare, they certainly can. Okay, they hit us for 2, it's 19 to 21. And they don't do anything. Alright. We got a run out of town. At this point, the question becomes, do we play a backup agent to draw more out of their hand? I think yes. Try to allay their fears. They cast Big Score. So they're discarding a card for 2 cards and 2 treasures. Oh man. I hope this leads to like sack the treasures, play a big fatty spell, a big creature this turn. A stimulus package, okay. Enters the battlefield, they make 2 treasures, and they can sack treasures to get citizens. Okay. All of this is fine. I really don't mind about any of this stuff. Do we go for a Rocks Pummeler? Yes. So the nice thing about Rocks Pummeler, it's a 6 mana 6/3, comes with a shield counter. Again, this is going to require our opponent to do something. Our opponent can't just sit back there, I don't think. So they're just going to play out hopefully more and more, and then when we finally do go ahead and depopulate, we get to keep our Pummeler. Right now they're sacrificing all of their citizens. Or they're sacrificing their treasures to make citizens, rather. I mean, we could be in some jeopardy here if they go for the Citizen Overrun, which is taking it to the streets, or take to the streets, I think it's called. All of their creatures right now, all 6 are citizens. That could definitely hurt us, but we would make trades as necessary and then depopulate. They are indeed taking it to the streets. Well, are we just dead here? Because there's 4 4/4s, a 5/6, and a 3/7. So we can say, if we block the most amount of damage, we're still taking 12, 15. So we live. And there's no way to block with the Pummeler that lets us keep the Pummeler. Okay, that's fine. So we just want to block the most damage possible. Yep, we're at 4. And now we get to depopulate. We should have attacked first, that was silly, but didn't really cost us anything. The creatures had vigilance, so they wouldn't have blocked anyway. Okay, your opponent is now trying to recover with an unlucky witness. And then which is a 1/1. And a Capenna a Capenna Express, good lord. So taken aback by the take it to the streets. The Express is a 4-mana 6/6 vehicle. You can also sacrifice treasure to pilot it. Okay, it's our turn. More land, I'm not super mad about that. Let's play a Fiend's Informant to connive, get some more options. Yeah, we're gonna ditch a land at this point. And now we have a Civil Servant we could play or keep Run Out of Town. Because they're probably going to pilot the Capenna Express. Yep, I think we just skipped to their turn. They pilot the Express. Yep, so they're playing Speakeasy Server. This is a 3/3 flyer. Gains them some life. And it's going to let them crew the Capenna Express. Presumably. Yep, that's what they're doing. Let's go ahead and run that out of town right now. No, let's let them... Maybe they will want to attack with their unlucky witness as well. Nope, just the Express. Alright. Get on out of town with you. They kept on top. I probably wouldn't have done that. Okay, now we have 2 Civil Servants to play this turn. That's important because they're going to hit us for 3 in the air, which we can't do anything about. Guess we attack with our Fiend's Informant. Probably they just take it. Okay, so it's 4-20. Plays it. They're gonna hit us for 3 in the air. We are holding up now a Civil Servant, which can hit them back for 3 lifelink. They just don't attack, so they're not attacking so that they can pilot their Capenna Express and profitably block a Civil Servant. I mean, I don't agree with that. You drew Darling of the Masses, which is very nice. Go ahead and cast that. And now we can attack with Civil Servant. Tap our other one to give it lifelink. Go to blockers. I'm assuming they're going to pilot their Express and block it. Yep, that's what they're going for. And so our For the Family is going to eat it up and gain us a bunch of life. Now they're hesitating about blocking. I mean, we're very happy no matter what happens here. If they just eat 4 lifelink damage, we go back up to 8. Okay, so they are blocking. That makes sense. It's For the Family, our Civil Servant. Okay, now they're gonna Cabaret Charm. Take it out. Okay. That was going to get us one way or the other. They follow it up with a Security Rocks, 4-mana 5/4. That'll probably seal the game for them. So now they're going to be hitting us with their 6/6 Express and their 3/3 flyer. We have to block now. Block with the Informant. I don't think there's anything we could draw to get us out of this. And a Plains is certainly towards the bottom of that list. So, good game. Well played, opponent. They had a good strategy into the Depopulate. Well, a good deck, I should say, into the Depopulate. They littered the board with tons of citizens and then just attacked us for 1 trillion damage. The thing about that was we could have depopulated the turn before they attacked us, but then, like, we could, what I mean is, they had the card that was allowing them to sacrifice treasures for citizens, so we could have preemptively depopulated, but then they just respond by sacrificing those things afterwards, and now they just have a bunch of citizens they get to keep. Anyway, 4 wins, 2 losses. Still playing for that 5th win. Let's go get it. Okay, we go first. 4 hands, a Civil Servant or a Fiend's Informant, and a For the Family. That is not a lot of juice. And we don't even have the Civil Servant first play that we're so fond of. I think it's a mulligan, sadly. just because it's a playable hand doesn't mean that you keep it. This hand is Broker's Hideout, Forest, Civil Servant, Quick Draw, Voice of the Vermin. This looks better to me. Let's keep this and get rid of the Paragon of Modernity that we have in hand. Then we can Brokers, go get our Plains, and pass. Setting up our lovely turn 2 Civil Servant. Our opponent's avatar is Oko, and their name is Incognito Frito, so I don't like this person a whole lot right off the bat. They went Jetmir's Garden, so Cabaretti. Bare minimum Cabaretti from the opponent. Play our Civil Servant and pass, then a Botanical Garden from them. We drew another Civil Servant. That's juice. So now we can attack. With the amount of Civil Servants we have in our deck, this is not a strange or bizarre opening for us, even though we had to draw into it. Opponent went Island, so they are indeed playing a mess. I love it. They play High-Rise Sawjack. Drew Backup Agent. Does that change anything for us? We could put, yeah, it does actually. Play the Backup Agent. Put a counter on one of our Civil Servants. Attack with it. Now, we should have attacked with both our Civil Servants. Yeah, that was bad. It's 28-13, but if we attacked with both, neither of them are good blocks. We could have one just sit there as a 3-4, and the other one we pump up with the Backup Agent, and then either way, their High-Rise Sawjack is not good into it. And that's pretty bad. They played a tap land and did nothing, so I think that's good news for us. Let's go to combat, and then let's do the attack we should have done last time. Attack with both. So this one, gotta make sure we put it on the right one. Yes, let's tap our Citizen. Okay, cool. Again, okay, they're blocking the lifelink Civil Servant with their their Sawjack rather. Do they have a trick? They have Most Wanted. Flash. Enchanted creature gets +2/+1. When it dies, they get 2 treasures. Okay. So now it's going to be a 4/4. Alright, we're going to Quick Draw Dagger. Yes, they get 2 treasures, but I don't really want to lose this guy, and I don't want their big creature to be stopping my attacks. Let's go ahead and end the turn. So next turn, if we get an untapped blue source, fantastic. We're just going to Spar's Adjudicators and keep smashing. They play Rock Speller, that's quite good. Okay, no blue source. We have a Voice of the Vermin. 6/3 trample with a shield counter. So I think here's what we do. We attack with our 2/3 Civil Servant. And then we tap the Backup Agent to give it the +1/+0. And we will trade a shield counter on their Pummeler for 3 life for us and one of our Civil Servants gone. And then we'll throw out a Voice of the Vermin. The 2/2 with the shield counter, when it attacks, it makes something space power and toughness 4/4. They go Buy Your Silence on our other Civil Servant, so it's exiled, but we did get a treasure, which unlocks our Adjudicators for next turn. And that was their whole turn. Oh, we also just drew an island, which is sweet. Okay, Adjudicators gotta adjudicate. Or do we just attack them? You know what, I'm changing my mind. We're gonna go Forest, equip the Quick Draw Dagger onto our Voice of the Vermin. Then we're going to attack with the Voice of the Vermin, making its base power 4/4, so now it's a 5/5 with a shield counter. They're just taking... They just took 5 damage going down to 6. That's fine. Now we can Echo Inspect. 2/3 flyer. That connives. Ditch this land. And end the turn there. Now they're at 6. We have the same play, the same attack next time. Plus we can throw out a Spar's Adjudicators. and tap a creature. So life is rough for the opponent. They play a suspicious bookcase. That might be the best thing I would have chosen for them to do that. But then they hold for ransom our Echo Inspector. Yeah, I'm less excited about that one, gotta be said. Well, what shall we do? Whatever we do starts with Aspara's Adjudicators this turn, for sure. And what do we tap down of theirs? It doesn't matter because they surrender. Okay. That's good. I mean, I liked our situation, but I wasn't sure what I was going to do in that particular moment. So it really does just fill you with a relaxed feeling when you're in the midst of a somewhat difficult decision and your opponent surrenders. Alright, in the black with 5 wins. Can we keep it going? History says no. But let's not look to the past, let's look to the future. We go first. A beautiful hand, Broker Side out 2 forests, Civil Servant, Backup Agent, Echo Inspector. I mean, it's a thing of beauty, isn't it? It's Broker Side out, gain our life, get our planes as we have done so many times before. They go Swamp. Okay. Draw out our Civil Servant. They go Island, Crooked Custodian, tapped 3-2. We draw another Civil Servant. My god. Well. Oh, that was bad. Why'd I play that? I played a forest when I had a tap land, and I only have 2 mana to spin this turn. Well, shoot. Let's play our Backup Agent. Back up our man Civil Servant. Attack with it. Tap the Citizen. I just get so excited to Backup Agent Civil Servant that I make a horrible misplace for no good reason. Wow. Okay, so they went planes into Mythic Rare, Raffine Scheming Seer. This is a 1/4 flying ward 1. When they attack, target attacking creature connives X, where X is the number of attacking creatures. Wow. So they ditched a Maestros Initiate, which is extra value, and now their Crooked Custodian is a 4/3. I mean, that's brutal. Well, I think the only thing we can really do is try to race. And what's the best way to do that? Play our land, attack with our Civil Servant. Yes, tap our Backup Agent. They, of course, take it. So now it's 25-12, but their Crooked Custodian is growing quite large indeed. We can play another Civil Servant, however. Brutal. Okay, they're naturally attacking with both creatures. Let's get to Connive 2 this time. It is very funny. If you are a LR fan, you probably already know this, but in the set review from Limited Resources for Rares and Mythics, they talked about Raffine Scheming Seer, and Marshall was very dubious. He's like, I think it's fine, but I don't think it's like a bomb or anything. And then, yeah, you see it in play, and it's like, what are you talking about, my guy? Okay, well, we're gonna keep on doing what we can. They're leaving up 4 mana. We're probably gonna get run out of town here. Both literally by the card and figuratively out of this draft. I mean, they're sitting there with 4 mana. Yep. Do we want to draw at the Civil Servant again? No. What we need to do is depopulate. We're still smacking them. It's 23-8. But they are also just filtering through their deck incredibly quickly. Now they're attacking with just Raffine, so they get to Connive 1, and leaving back their big boy 4/3 Custodian. Makes sense. I wonder if we're supposed to commit anything else to the board at this point. They cast Nimble Larcenous, 2/1 flyer, an ETB's Reveal Our Hand. They choose an artifact or sorcery and exile it. We don't have one. They're playing more cards. A Cutthroat Contender there. Well, I think... Yeah, we're going to go ahead and cast our Echo Inspector. Right now. Let's start with an attack. Attack with a Servant. Tap our Backup Agent, give it +1 lifelink. You know the deal. They're trading with their custodian. That's okay for us. Should we go and play the Echo Inspector? Yes, because it connives and it could get us to our depopulate, which again is really something we need. Okay. We drew another land. Let's just keep this other land in hand. So now they're attacking with their Fiend and their Cutthroat. So they've ditched an Expendable Lackey and a Nimble Larcenist, so it's a 3/3 now. Yeah, I mean, we can block Rafine. Just prevent some damage. It's 22 to 8. They're exiling an Expendable Lackey for an unblockable fish. We drew a Voice of the Vermin, which we have to play. I guess, again, everything starts by attacking. Attack with our Civil Servant and our Echo Inspector? Sure, why not? We need to get their life total down. Tap our backup agent. I'm curious if they're going to block with their Nimble Larcenist. It saves them 2 life, and they are at 8. But these flying and unblockable creatures they have represent more connive triggers for them. I mean, next time they could attack with everything and get 4 counters on something. They have Obscura Charm to destroy our Civil Servant. And then they go ahead and take 2, going to 6. So now we can Voice the Vermin and prepare ourselves for quite a lot of pain. I mean, on their turn they can just, hold back Cutthroat Contender, probably. Attack with 3 creatures. Turn their Cutthroat Contender, or leave back the Larcenist, let's say. Just make a huge blocking flyer. They're attacking with Rafine so far. I was going to say, you gotta attack with the fish. What else is the fish doing? Okay, 1 counter for the fish. 3 damage to us. It's 19 to 6. And then a Speakeasy Server. That's very good for them. Another blocker, another flyer. They go up to 10. That's pretty good. We're going to adjudicate on their Speakeasy Server. Next we're going to attack with our 2/3 Echo Inspector and our we're going to turn into a 4/4 Voice of the Vermin, which they're going to block with their Cutthroat Contender, so they get our shield counter off of it. We do get them for 2 with the Echo Inspector. It's 19 to 7. I mean, it's kind of unreal how hard we're battling through this Rafine. I think ultimately for no real purpose. We are just going to die to it. Okay, so they're attacking with Nimble Larcenist and a fish. Conniving 2. I mean, they've connived like so many cards. Very precise measurement from me. It's kind of surprising though. They still have 15 cards in deck. Okay, they corrupt Court Official. We lose our land. That's why we wanted to keep that in there. A Psychic Pickpocket, you say? What do we do with that? Definitely don't want to hit their Speakeasy Server and make them gain a bunch of life. I guess we do it on their Rafine. Just not the most exciting thing in the world. And return up to 1 target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Yes, I want to use that ability, please. Now, it's asking me because of the Ward 1. That always freaks me out. It needs to give you a reason. Are you sure you want to do that? It has Ward. Alright, now what do we want to do? They have a 3/3 and a 1/1 to block with. Do we just attack with all? Even our 1/1? I plumb reckon. I think even the 1/1. So they're going to trade. They're going to lose their Corrupt Court Official. Taking out our Echo Inspector. Now they're at 2. There are things that could happen that we could win the game now. So they replay their Rafine. Sure, of course. Attack us with their fish. They get to connive. Okay, they threw away a Shattered Seraph. I think, unless they have something they lose, because we just drew Darling of the Masses, we're just going to pump up 3 of our team. They're at 2, and they only have 3 blockers. We have to go for it. All attacks. Let's make our Voice of the Vermin big and juicy. And they're dead. I cannot believe we won that game. I'm not going to take the time to go back and listen through there and edit this in, but how many extra cards did they draw? I saw they were 10 cards ahead of us by the end of the game, but I think they drew more than 10 cards off of Rafine. That was bananas. What a way to get win number 6. Can we trophy? Can we get to 7? Let's find out together. Opponent goes first. This is looking like a mulligan. It's not just looking like it is a mulligan. We've got 2 forests and no playable spells in hand. So white spell, 3 blue spells, and a civil servant, which also needs white. So that's a big fatty mulligan. This hand looks much better. Broker's Hideout, Island Forest, into Rafine's Informant, Civil Servant, Echo Inspector, and yet again, the Paragon of Modernity, which we will be throwing to the bottom of the pile. They go Broker's Initiate, the 0-4. We drew Depopulate. Okay, well, I think we have a new plan now, which is slow roll into a Depopulate. We'll probably run out Rafine's Informant next turn. They play another Broker's Initiate. We like that. We draw a Broker's Hideout, another one. Okay. Well, I think this turn, do we just go? I think we just go Forest, nothing. Because now we have the mana to cast it, so we don't need to Rafine's Informant. We can save that to rebuild afterwards. Yeah, just pass to them. I really want them to just, so they keep playing planes. They go for their own Rafine's Informant, very good. They get to connive. They throw away a Speakeasy Server, very good. We drew a Run Out of Town, I like that too. Okay, play our Broker's Hideout. Again, this helps it not look suspicious. We didn't cast anything on 2, and now we have a tap land, so it just looks like our mana is maybe a little bit rough. They go Celebrity Fencer, okay. And they hit us for 3. Do we get greedy and let them play 1 more creature? Take 6 more damage, possibly 7, and then depopulate them. We're already getting a 4-for-1. I know, I hear Marshall right now just telling me, don't be greedy, just get your 4-for-1. There's also the issue of, if they played a multicolor creature next turn, then I'm just giving them a free card, I'm actually losing value. Okay, so they're following it up with another Celebrity Fencer. Fine by me. Because we're going to Civil Servant, Rafine's Informant. And now we have to ditch something. But what do we want to ditch? Our second Civil Servant? Weird as it sounds, yes, because our other cards are Echo Inspector, Run Out of Town, Spar's Adjudicators, which I actually like more. Because next turn, I'm looking to Spar's Adjudicators. Okay, so they cast Mage's Attendant, which gives 2 counters to the Celebrity Fencer. Pretty good. No blocks for us. We will take 5 going to 14. They now have the 3/2 Mage's Attendant plus the Wizard, which can counter a non-creature spell for a little mana spike. I don't really care about that. So what do we do here? I think what we do is we Adjudicate. Again, using our mana effectively. Tap their Celebrity Fencer. Tap it way down. Go to attacks, attack with both creatures, and activate Spar's Adjudicators to give our guy lifelink. That seems okay. So they're going to trade their Mage's Attendant for the Civil Servant. They take 3, we gain 3, it's tied at 17. Cool. Should be noted they're still on 4 lands for the moment. They're attacking us with their little wizard. 16 to 17, and that's all they did. Cool. Well, that sets us up for a very nice run out of town on the Celebrity Fencer. And they put it back on top. I can't tell you how much I love that. We're going to hit him for 7 and end the turn with a Civil Servant. So they're just drawing and replaying a 3/2. That's their whole turn. That's very bad. And now it gets even worse, because now we're going to Psychic Pickpocket, which we just drew. We discard something. Let's get rid of our Quick Draw Dagger we just drew. Bounce their Celebrity Fencer back to hand, make them play it yet again, and attack them with a 3-2, a 4-4, and a 2-3. Barring a depopulate of their own, I think this should be game. It's 16-5. They play a mountain. They've been solid green-white so far. And actually, they've only played white spells so far. A Speakeasy Server. 3-3 flyer that gains them a life. It's not bad. We're going to cast a Voice of the Vermin, which will allow us to attack with all of our things. Tap our Voice of the Vermin to give Civil Servant +1 in lifelink, and that should be lethal. And that's the game, and that's the draft, and that's the trophy. We've done it. Pretty cool deck. I really enjoyed the level of consistency that I was able to get out of this deck. Just going back to the deck list for a moment, remember we have 4 full play set of Civil Servants, 2 backup agents, and the Rafine's Informant, so our 2-drops were really nailed down. Rooftop Nuisance won us in a couple of spots that were difficult, and then 2 Sparse Adjudicators, 2 Psychic Pickpockets, 2 Run Out of Towns really kept the tempo in our favor. And then we also just got to mize a few wins, including that last one with a cheeky slow roll Depopulate. Very good. I was impressed. The Depopulate, as I said at the beginning, I wasn't sure in a deck like this one that's so chock full of creatures, so creature-centric, but it worked out great. And yes, even though it seems to have maybe a bit of a drawback, quote-unquote, a 4-mana Wrath is still fantastic and limited. Well, thanks for coming along on this journey with me. I hope you had fun. God knows I did. I needed this after that mess of a Maestros draft we did last time. Alright, well, I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, week, year, existence, afterlife, all of it. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.